Ever since I stopped posting concept art for my comic project, What Michael Saw, on this channel, many of you probably have been wondering what I've been doing with my time. Well, during my final semester in college, I was alone due to my college's COVID-related rules. While I was alone, I had plenty of time to reminisce about growing up outside of Philadelphia, as well as time to get into some great fiction. Some of that fiction I was experiencing at the time was speculative fiction, and other fiction would be what some would term furry fiction. It got me thinking, besides the obvious, why don't literary types take furry fiction seriously? Then it occurred to me, graphic novels and superheroes were treated the same way before works such as V for Vendetta and Watchmen came out. Then I thought, could I perhaps give furry fiction the same respect by creating a story with complex adult themes and realistic characters? Well, as I churned out ideas and wrote them down, the story I was making became less like Watchmen and more like the anime series Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. Once my friend pointed out the similarities between my comic series and the anime series. By the time I was finished with all the first drafts of my issues, genres that the series took on include detective, superhero, police procedural, biopunk, and political thriller. Over my DeviantArt and Twitter accounts, I've been slowly and steadily posting reference art and concept art for this project, with the hashtag JustAnimals. Now, quick note, I actually am not the artist of these drawings. That credit would go to Ghost Trope, as he is known on DeviantArt. Anyway, as you can tell from this reference art, the comic deals with police officers / crime fighting and features anthropomorphic animal characters. To explain how these various elements interact with each other, I must explain the JustAnimals universe. So, JustAnimals takes place in a future America where political division is deeply felt. The series is set in the year 2040, where political polarization has reached a fevered pitch due to the fact that many Democrats have left red states for blue states and vice versa. Although the US has not seen a Republican president since 2021, many expect a Republican presidential victory in the 2040 election due to higher birth rates in the red states in the last 20 years or so. This victory, many fear, could trigger massive riots or even a civil war. Another feature of the JustAnimals world is that the war on terror not only continued indefinitely, but fighting in the Middle East only intensified, which led to the US government to create human-animal hybrid super soldiers out of humans. These include species such as wolves, grizzly bears, and cheetahs. Eventually, technology to transform oneself into a human-animal hybrid came into civilian hands, and such people came to be known as beastkin and transspecies. It also is important to note that many wealthier civilians have transformed themselves into herbivore beastkin in order to help mitigate climate change. Now, the comic specifically follows several beastkin veterans, in particular Talia Rubino, a wolf beastkin who was created as a bomb-sniffing wolf, and Justin Sykes, a grizzly bear beastkin and a very skilled Krav Maga practitioner. Both of them hail from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where the vast majority of the comic takes place. By the year 2040, both of them have become seasoned veterans of the Philadelphia police force. Talia specifically is a detective, while Justin is a regular cop. The story itself begins in September of 2040, roughly 2 months before Presidential Election Day 2040. In issue 1, Talia is investigating an abandoned department store where she accidentally discovered someone hidden in the roof, taking pictures of her. And the rest I can't tell you because that would be spoilers. You guys are just going to have to find out with the rest of the world. Sorry. Right now, although I might write an additional outline for another issue, so far I have written 8 outlines for all the comics issues, and I'm waiting on beta readers to read and add comments to my outlines. As much as I think the story of the comic will change some and render some of the information in this video inaccurate, since the series has remained about superhero beastkin in a future Philadelphia throughout the writing process, I am convinced that the series will not change very drastically. Until the series is completed, I'm Mr. Fiction 1, hard at work at hopefully what will be my first fully completed project.